Just leaving the campsite, and it's started to, well, it's been for the last half an hour, miserable, drizzling. So bit of a damp start. So let's put the bike into rain setting. A lot of midges were around this morning, so I've been bitten a little bit as I was packing away. Right, off we go. Just turned the GoPro back on, just because of these wonderful clouds sitting over the Coolin Hills. I really do hope the GoPro picks that up okay. So heading off Skye. Now unfortunately, with that sort of cloud, I'm thinking about going over the Applecross Pass, but I don't want to be doing it into cloud like that. So I'll have a look as we get closer. For two reasons. Firstly, won't be able to see anything, the view. So secondly, I need to see what's coming around the hairpins, and if it's thick cloud, I won't be able to see if something's coming until I'm confronting it on a hairpin bend. Here's where I turned right yesterday to head to Carbost for the oysters. When the hitchhikers were hiking. Hitchhikers were hitching. So now on the only way out of Skye, the A87. The mountain there gives sheer, huge scale to this landscape, with the road just so diminutive in its foot. So this is the point where you can get a little ferry across to Rassay. The way the road's been cut through here, quite something. If one looks at the mountains here, the Coolins, some of them have this like melting ice cream top of the Scree, and the Torridans over on the mainland, not that far away actually, they are very similar to look at. So this is the end of Skye for this year, or maybe not this year, for this week. On the way off, instead of the ferry, is the Skye Bridge. And thank goodness it's not blowing a gale like last time. Fantastic bridge, it really is. The Isle of Skye. If you're to spend a week somewhere in one spot, somewhere near Isle of Skye should be quite cool. Although I don't think that's it's not the most attractive of villages. Riding alongside the Loch Carron here, and the railway to the Isle of Skye, right next to the road. This is like one sees in Switzerland, the Alps, those sorts of tunnels. Not really tunnels, but almost to allow the rocks to fall down without blocking the road or smashing cars or whatever, or trains in this case as well. Looks like the tide's completely out at the moment. Loch Carron. This is Strathcarron. It's got a hotel, look at that. Well, it's not looking good with the clouds up high for going across to Applecross. So maybe I shall find a coffee. I'm noticing my rear tyre pressure is lower, or lowered in the last 2 days, from 2.9, 2.7, 2.6, now 2.5 bar. So since having the new tyre, it has seemed to be losing a little bit of air. So whether it's down to it not seating properly or whether it actually is something in it, don't know. But I will stop and pump it up soon. So every other vehicle's a GS here. One in front. I just went past some more back there. Beautiful views across the loch. Very still, like a mill pond at the moment. Yeah, what a pretty place. Really very, very attractive here. Then again, I would say that because I like villages by the coast. Oh look, Waterside Cafe and takeaway. Ah, that's what we want. Thank you. So unfortunately, it's raining again. But more unfortunately, I couldn't get my tyre inflator to work. It ran for about 1 second and cuts out. I think there must be a current limiter on the accessory. So it's okay for charging phone batteries and drone batteries, and they don't take a lot of current. As soon as I put in an electric pump, there you go. I should have tested it before I came. I just thought it would work, but it doesn't. So yes, there we are. So I'm not going to go over to Applecross. It's been an excuse to come back next year again. I wouldn't see anything anyway, and I really don't want to be doing it on a tyre that's 5 bar, rear tyre that's 5 bar low below its optimum pressure, especially with such a heavily loaded bike. Petrol station back at Loch Carron. It's one of those automatic ones, so no more airline anymore, that sort of thing. So I'm going to have to find a proper petrol station that has a airline. Met a bunch of guys who were doing the North Coast 500, and they're enjoying their experience. Having a great time. The cafe in Loch Carron breakfast was excellent, so if you like good full English or full Scottish as it was there, then you won't be disappointed. Good quality stuff. Quite a remote place, but very pretty. It's like a lone yacht waiting out there for someone to go and sail it. Coming up to Torridon, and that is the first place. There's a little cow buyer house that I looked at once for sale. Goodness knows why I did that. Looks a bit derelict now. The problem was it's built into the rock face, so damp as anything would always be a problem. Nice here though, especially if you love walking. Unfortunately the hills, the Torridon Hills right in front, are covered in clouds, so we're not going to see those at the moment. Whether that will stay the case, I don't know. So I just stopped after Torridon. The petrol station had a nice pump for 50p. I've now got tyre pressure up to where it should be. So I'm on the A832 heading north towards Bealach at the moment. This is part of the North Coast 500 route. And I'm glad I put the air in the tyre, because now it's at the optimum pressure. It's interesting that half a bar less pressure, it really didn't feel right. What with this heavy load on. Now it feels a lot, well, it feels how it should do. So it definitely was making a difference to the handling of the bike. Shows you the correct pressure is important. As you may be able to hear from the and see, because of a bit blurry vision, it's a good old dose of rain at the moment. So I thought it'd be a good time to mention about this clothing. I took the risk when I bought the bike to, you know, I didn't really have any. I had waterproofs, but ones you sort of put on top in an emergency, not very useful. Boots weren't very good, certainly weren't waterproof. So I took the risk, I should say, of buying the BMW branded stuff. However, the report is I didn't get wet last year when it was torrential rain in the Lake District. Didn't get wet last year when I was up here through some hailstorms. I didn't get wet 2 days ago when it was heavy rain as I came onto Skye. And there's a lot of rain this morning, and I'm still cosy and dry underneath. Look at that. And don't seem to be dripping wet either. Like last night, sorry, the night before, I got the temp put up after being through quite a lot of rain, and I took the jacket and trousers in the tent. They were dry. It just repelled all the water. Now, I've heard other stories about these jackets that after 3 years they start to leak. Well, this is here, just a year, isn't it? Just over a year. Still okay. So maybe I'll do a review in 2 years' time if it still works. For the moment, it's all good. It's brightening up actually. I did check the weather radar earlier. It seems like the rain is heading sort of north to south. So maybe this afternoon will be dry. Be nice if it's dry for pitching the tent. Anyway, we're in Bealach. Well, this is where I stayed the night a year ago, up here at the Bealach Hotel with all the pensioners and coach trips and what have you. That was fun. It wasn't too bad actually. It was actually fine. Just very funny. Right alongside the beach, and it has some sand. Look at that. This is Poolwee, and it's famous for its gardens. There's the National Trust gardens here, and if you like gardens, they're well worthwhile looking at. You can see with the GoPro, but where the red dot is, look at that lovely rain. I'm heading across there. So it's like perfectly positioned, especially for me. Thank you. On the right is another camping and caravan club campsite. Another choice to stop at, but not tonight for me. I'm carrying on to the Rosemarkie camping and caravan club site. That is the gardens, Inverness Gardens they're called, National Trust Gardens. If you've got time to stop, it's a sunny day maybe, have a look. Quite a view up here. It says I'm 286 feet above sea level, according to the sat-nav. It's a long way down. And just below is the, I think it was a submarine fueling station. Obviously, I'm not sure. That's what someone told me. No longer required. Some sort of fueling station. Quite a sheltered and protected bay. At the end of the bay there are old Second World War gun. There's a gun battery sort of aiming this way to protect it. So it must have been quite strategically important. Safe harbour, you could say, for Atlantic patrols, or one of the safe harbours for Atlantic patrols. Wow, look at that view. Let's clean the GoPro. Make sure you can see. That's fantastic down there. Actually, I really should have stopped there, shouldn't I, with the camera, big camera, and taken a photograph with that moody sky. It made an outstanding black and white photograph. Don't know if it's doing it or not, but there we are. Yes, the advancement of rain continues, and the testing of waterproofs not yet complete. Still dramatic views to enjoy. Those of you in front of your warm computer screen. The endurement of the adventure rider, specifically to your entertainment. What a load of rubbish that was. Anyway, coming down to the lock side here. I don't know what the lock's called, but it's the last part of the west coast I shall see on this trip. So this is, if you can see, you can imagine, without such a heavily loaded GS, dry roads, these roads are potentially quite quick on the North Coast 500. Hello, some goats. Hello, goats. And well, you've got to be careful, not just because of sheep, goats and deer, but because this morning whilst having breakfast at Loch Carron in the cafe there, the guy who runs the cafe was telling me that there are 5 unmarked police motorbikes, 5 unmarked police cars patrolling the North Coast 500 this summer, and they've been catching quite a few bikers and sports car drivers. I don't think I've got very much to worry about. If I've got nothing to worry about on the GS, not even going the speed limit at the moment, but if you're coming up here, be careful not to race an unmarked police motorbike on these beautiful roads. Right, that's the end of my west coast. The last little bit of the coast for me to see. Dundonald is the location. But as usual, west coast of Scotland, Isle of Skye, wonderful. According to the sat-nav, I'm 1,128 feet up at the moment on the A835. Clouds are not far above me. In fact, they're below me to the left. So, yeah, we're high. It looks like going down now. See the poles for the winter snow, show where the road is. I'm not sure if the GoPro is going to pick this up, but on the distant hill, the hill's the other side of the valley there, or glen, look at that cloud sort of halfway up, tracing its way along. Lovely. Still losing pressure on the rear tyre. It's lost a couple of bar since I filled it earlier. So instead of camping immediately at the Black Isle, I'm going to a little bit past. I'm going to go into Inverness. See if I can find. I think there's a BMW Motorrad dealer. See if they'll have a quick look. Failing that, an ATS. Or, well, we'll see. Now I shall decide what I'm doing from that point. Over the suspension bridge and into Inverness. The Motorrad dealer in Inverness only sells bikes and services them, but can't do tyres or anything like that. Seems a bit silly really, selling motorbikes and not able to provide the tyres. But there we are. They give me a postcode of a motorbike place called Mitchell's that may be able to help me out. So here's a swing bridge over the Caledonia Canal I'm waiting for. Hopefully up here not too far, and we'll be sorted with the, well, not sorted, we'll be able to see if they've got a time to have a look. It's 3:20 now, so who knows. If not, I shall decide my plan of action. Well, not much luck. They can't do anything about it today. Yeah, it's a bit of a problem, bike tyres, isn't it? So the BMW Motorrad dealer doesn't even do them. And that place, Mitchell's, is just, I think there's one guy putting his hair out trying to fix bikes. So, anyway. So what I'm going to do, I think, is unfortunately abort a bit early. I don't want to leave the bike. I don't want to be on the campsite and then find I've got no pressure in the tyre when I get back. So, or get in the morning, I should say. So I'm going to head, because I won't be able to pump it up there, head to Yorkshire where I will be able to pump it up a day early, which is a shame, because well, I was looking forward to walking along and looking at dolphins. Better luck next time, eh?